My name's Dave Hughes, and I've owned this property. They called it the Tower House for more than 20 years. I used to live in it when I was a lot younger, and uh, over the years, I've heard the stories, and it's what is really revealing is the fact that it's the same stories have come up over and over and over again. So I personally feel, people say there's no such things as ghosts. Over the years, I believe that there is a presence here. But I personally see it as some people feel it and see it, and I'm definitely not one of those people. But the stories have confirmed themselves over the years. So what is really beautiful is I met the original gentleman whose father built onto this property. So as you can see from the walls of these two rooms, they're a whole lot thicker than the other walls. So these were the two original rooms, and we haven't done enough research to find out what it was something to do with the mining in the jailhouse across the road, and so it was something to do with government claims office or something of the sort, because it's only two rooms. So it was never a residential property, because obviously it not just two rooms. And then Mr. Brydon built onto it in 1910, and the brother told me the story. So, Mr. Brydon was his father, and he came to see me one day, and he was the one son. And he told me his brother, David, contracted tuberculosis, TB. And in the old days, is a TB. It's one of those
TB is a lung condition, not being able to breathe.
Yes. So I think what it was is, and then they believed in those years that if you were elevated, it would help the condition. So that was when his father built the turret, added on these rooms down the side, and built a turret for his brother David. And David was the person who passed on in the room upstairs. So the reality is that this story is being confirmed over and over again, that the presence is mostly in the room upstairs, and that it's an elderly gentleman or a young, middle-aged gentleman, and so that's why I've got to believe that it must be the truth, because just arbitrary people would pop in here and say to me, can we see the property? And then over the years, everybody has confirmed that there's a presence upstairs, and numerous people confirm that it's a gentleman and that he's middle 30s. And then when I met with the brother, I can't remember what the brother's name was, but if we research this, Mr. Brydon Senior was an engineer, and he actually worked on the Durban docks. He was a well-known engineer, and so yeah, that's where. So the stories of the tunnels and the things underneath the ground, it's just urban legend. So maybe we don't need to tell the story, but it is.
What's the story?
The story is that there's tunnels connecting this house with the jailhouse. Okay, and there's kids were even taught, it was in the history books, that they were even taught that there are these tunnels. And I spoke to the city engineer. As a young engineer, they laid the sewage for this area. And the sewage is really deep. So he said, when they laid the sewage for this area, they would have definitely come across a tunnel while they were laying the sewage.
Do you know if somebody might have died in the tunnels?
I don't know. No, that I don't know. But there is a stormwater culvert. We went down it once, but not too far. And then when I originally bought the property, we went crawling around underneath the floors here to see if we could find a tunnel, but there's no tunnel.
And the rocks that were taken off, how did that occur?
That was those rocks that you see that are taken off down there. That was us.
Okay, to
that
try and open to see it.
Yes, to go climb through. So we went through. We were all around underneath in all the rooms. So I've always said it's something I want to turn this into a coffee shop, because it shouldn't to me be a private residence. It should be something that's open to the community, and turn that into a lovely wine cellar down there, and nice coffee shop, maybe a bit of a restaurant. but I've never really had the money to do it. Maybe one day still. Okay, end of interview. Thank you very much.
No.
No.
What I found interesting was that there was old building walls,
Yes.
and then there was new ones. If you look inside, you'll see there's modern bricks.
Yes.
So
I know that was.
I don't understand why is
no.
that closed off.
No, I don't know. That, you know what I mean? That was obviously somebody in the later years. Those old rocks is what the original construction is. So this whole property is built on rock foundation. So it's not a proper concrete foundation like we build nowadays. They built it on a rock foundation. So you see, there's a few quite bad cracks, but the reality is this building stood 1910, you know, so it's a good over 100 years old. So, you know, it's the reality that it's still very, very sturdy.
Do you sometimes hear noises or?
Okay, that all of this, you know what I mean? It's been, like I said, the stories have been confirmed over and over again. The staff complained that the microwave oven just switches on by itself. My uncle, this was the closest story. My uncle came to stay here with my nieces because they wanted to sleep over. And they slept up, which I felt was very brave, because over all the years, I've never ever put my bedroom upstairs. And I've never been that brave. So they said, no, they want to sleep in the room upstairs. And my uncle slept downstairs, I think in this room or that room there. And I told him, Uncle Brucey, if you're going to come here, just make sure the kids you can't just sleep in a sleeping bag in the winter. Because sometimes I swear it's colder inside than it is outside. Because of the thick walls and the rock and things like that. I think it tends to keep the cold inside. So he was sleeping, and it was always, because even when I stayed here, we put the alarm on and, you know, secure an area that you're sleeping in, and then the alarm's on everywhere else. And around 12, the alarm used to go off, and I had the alarm company in here, and we checked everything out. And then I'd isolate different areas, and then the alarm would go off in a different, and eventually I just canned it and never put the alarm on while I was here.
What's interesting about 12 o'clock is where the spirits are most active.
Yes.
From 12 onwards. You know, in myth and stories and movies, they all say 12 o'clock,
yes.
the witch's time.
Yes.
It is actually true that the spirits are, because it's still in the area,
yes.
so it would be at 12 o'clock.
Yes. So he said that around 12, he woke up because he forgot to bring extra blankets. So he made sure the kids, but he forgot for himself. And he woke up around 12 and he was freezing his butt off. And you heard noises the stairs. So he thought one of the girls had come down to the toilet. And the next morning when he woke up and went to go and chat to the girls, said, yeah, Uncle Brucey, you tried to scare us last night, came up the stairs and, you know, opened the door. We heard you.
Yeah.
And, you know, so there was the confirmation, not only from the girls, but from my Uncle Brucey, who said, and he was awake. He said it wasn't as if he was, you know, dreaming or half asleep, or he said he specifically heard the noises up the stairs. And the girls, there were 3 or 4 of them, they all confirmed that they heard. And, you know, it was pretty scary for them, but they thought it was Uncle Bruce, so they never thought anything of it. But the next morning when they found out that he didn't go up the stairs, then, you know, so it's those sort of stories. I tell a beautiful story. I was still a bachelor, and 2 beautiful girls came in here and asked me if I didn't want to sell the property. And I said, no, I don't want to sell it. It's not for sale. So they said, but really, we're really interested. We want to buy it. They were interior decorators. So eventually they came and they said to me, listen, could we do a deal with you? We'll come and renovate the whole property. We'll put furniture, because, you know, I'm a bachelor, I'm poor, there wasn't much furniture. We'll put furniture in, we'll decorate, we'll put curtains and everything, and then we'd want to rent it and use it as like a property where you could come and have a look at their decor and how they do interior decorating. So I said, oh, brilliant, let's do this. So they were very, very excited, and she brought her partner to come and have a look. But they were really serious, and they were, you know, I was at the time also a real estate agent, so I know when people start putting the furniture in and tell you what they're going to do in each room, and they were really excited about this. And she brought her partner with, because the 2 of them were in the business, and they went up the stairs. But when they got up the stairs, I was doing something, I think I was in my office, and I just heard this girl scream. And then she ran out, and I came out of my office, so what's going on? And the other girl said, oh, I don't really know, but she just ran out here. She burst into tears, and it was, but again, the presence upstairs. So it's been, like I said, I can tell a few other stories that I wouldn't want to be recorded, but you know, people came here out of the blue and met me and wanted to look at my house and, you know, confirm the fact that there's a presence upstairs. So it's always been a thing about the presence upstairs. And then, you know, the fact that the Brydon brother, I can't remember what his name was, but I remember the fact that the son was David, because it was quite coincidental. So it was, you know, that thing that's just the stories definitely confirmed. So that's when I've come to believe, you know what I mean, it must be true, because random people can't confirm one story. Now you again have confirmed the story.